My name is George Weiner. I'm the chief whaler of Whole Whale, and welcome to another episode of Whole Whale TV. Today, mission statements and vision statements. They're two different things, but oftentimes, sometimes, many times, they are confused. So we're just going to quickly dive into them. To begin, why we're talking about this actually starts with why. Simon Sinek, in his book, Start With Why, talks about the golden circle. And in this idea, we have the circle in the center where we start is why. Why do we do what we do? What is the purpose? And that's the driving factor. All too often, we start off with the what we're doing, which is the outer circle. So it is the why, the how, and then, you guessed it, the what, as you can see in the circle, with regard to mission statement and vision statement. The vision statement and our beliefs happen at the core of why we do what we do. And so it is a broader, more inspirational idea that is at the core that you then build around toward the outside. And we'll be framing it in this way as we define how we differ when we write one versus the other. The other thought leader I like to look at is Jim Collins. So famously written Good to Great, but also a book prior to that called Beyond Entrepreneurship, in which he defines the different layers of vision statements and mission statements. And the same idea of having the larger vision, something that's going to last for 100 years, the sort of mountain, the rock, the thing that is your reason for being. Then the mission statement, something that we are targeting. So we're going to layer these out, and then we're going to show you some definitions of them. To start with, I know words are funny things, and we can actually use google.com/trends to look at mission statement versus vision statement versus these other statements that are commonly used. More often than not, we're using and overusing mission statement. You should begin with the values, then the vision, then the mission purpose, objectives, and KPIs. Lots of ideas here, I know, jargony. However, when you're starting with the vision, that's the highest piece. That's the top part of our pyramid where we're talking more inspiration. It's a view of how the world should be as a result of your work. Very high-minded. It can stand, as I said, it can stand for like 100 years, as Jim Collins puts in his book Beyond Entrepreneurship. It's also important, by the way, that this is short. We're talking like one sentence. Can you do that, right? It has to be inspirational and memorable because your team is taking this as the core, right? The core of that golden circle that they are working forward into the future on. So that's the vision statement. Let me give you some examples though. For instance, Habitat for Humanity. Well, their statement is a world where everyone has a decent place to live. Okay, that's pretty darn clear. I get it, high-minded, visionary. Another one, Charity Water. Charity Water believes that we can end the water crisis in our lifetime by ensuring that every person on the planet has access to life's most basic need, clean drinking water. So again, it's something very high-minded. It's not saying in 10 years we're doing X, in 5 years we're doing Y. Very high and in that realm. Another one, Teach for America. One day, all children in this nation will have the opportunity to attain an excellent education. And so in there, again, aspirational. These aren't like quotients, but high-minded. We're setting the tone. We're starting with why and focusing on that idea. That's the confusion. When we get into mission, you have to think more tangibly because we're moving down. We're not the high-minded piece. This is something that could be in the realm of 1 to 5 years even. And it's fine to reset that or refine that as you hit these goals. You know, it's the fundamental purpose of the organization. That's what we're after. That defines it. It defines the activity and the goal done to reach the vision. See how we're beginning to move out from the why to the how we're doing what we're doing? It's an idea of what's wrong with the world, but also how we're going about fixing it in that methodology in doing that. Again, we're looking for something short, memorable summary of the goals and what we're trying to do and layers and purpose. So sometimes that mission and purpose is there. What I like to focus on here too is potentially a BHAG, a big, huge, ambitious goal that, you know, again, is going to take you some time to do. You know, 0 in terms of number of malaria or reaching 10 million in terms of X or Y. You know, imagine it in military terms. And this is what gets you. Like, the missions are the smaller parts that win the war, but the larger vision may be to keep the country safe. So as you're telling your team to go out there in the field, it's not keep our country safe, it may be more specific. Hey, go take that mountain over there. So Another example is for Whole Whale, our vision is to close the nonprofit knowledge gap in data and technology. Fairly broad. Now, when we refine that to our mission, well, we set this a few years back, and for us, it's by 2020. We want to become the recognized industry leader, reaching 5 million nonprofit or learning engagements. And so for that, we actually attached a number. I really like it when a mission attaches a number or a percentage or a way that you're trying to move the needle and what you're measuring, because then that trickles down to the rest of the things that your organization can be working from. Hopefully that's beginning to give you an idea of how you can frame the mission statement versus the vision statement as two different things. And here's some charts so you can see how we're looking at learning engagements and really tracking them over time. How we're doing quarter to quarter, and there's the chart that you can get an idea from. So that's our public service announcement about mission statement versus vision statement. It's totally fine if for whatever reason, on your website you want to call it a mission statement, but it's important internally to have those two different things defined. That near-term mission statement with usually a number or a BHAG attached to it versus the high-minded vision that's put out there. Most people switch them on the website. That's fine to keep some internal, but define it for yourself and understand the difference when you're putting it out there. Whole Whale has more resources on the measurement of these things at wholewhale.com/impact, where you can find more videos on defining your digital impact and how to get a better idea of closing that gap. Thank you for joining us. If you like what you saw, or at least you weren't bothered by what you saw, take a look. We got some more stuff here. You can find our website over here. And of course, subscribe. I shouldn't have to point because you're on YouTube, and you know what? You should be able to find a subscribe button on YouTube. I think. We'll make a video about it.